line, in fact, putting the clearly enough.
Well, our visitors here at Vale Park this afternoon are Sunderland, managed, of course, by local boy Dennis Smith and his assistant up there, Viv Busby, who played with him in the Stoke City side not so many seasons ago. Dennis, who had an illustrious career with our opponents down the road, has had an equally outstanding career as a manager. He took York City to promotion together with his colleague Viv Busby. They then moved to Sunderland, and they set the North East alight, taking the Sunderland club from the 3rd to the 1st division. But last season, unfortunately for them, they came down to the 2nd, and they're finding things a bit tough this time at 2nd division level. On the other hand, of course, under John Rudge, our progress has not been quite so rapid or spectacular, but it's certainly been built on very solid foundations. This afternoon, there are one or two changes to the side envisaged by John Rudge, but it is, in fact, the team that did so well at Grimsby last week. Although Simon Mills wears the number 2 shirt, in reality he'll be operating in midfield. Neil Aspin, wearing the number 11 shirt, will settle in at right full-back, so that will give us Mills and Andy Porter mainly in the middle of the park, along with Robin van der Laan as the playmakers. Brian Mills comes in up front because, of course, Keith Houchin is unfit, and the youngster Brian Mills is now acquiring the experience so essential to him if he's going to really establish himself at league level. Sunderland, one of their biggest names, of course, is their goalkeeper Tony Norman, but the Vale have cracked a number of goals past Norman in the past. He's by no means invulnerable, and at 33, whilst he should be really at the peak of his playing career, Sunderland have leaked a number of goals, but on the other hand, they have scored quite a few, so they can score them, but they can also give them away. Tony Norman then in goal. They've got a number of names well known throughout the various divisions of the Football League in their side, by no means least of whom is Gary Bennett, who will be playing in midfield. He did service with the Manchester clubs, went down to Cardiff, and Dennis Smith, an excellent judge of a player, obviously saw sufficient in him still to bring him back up to the North East. Kevin Ball was an expensive buy for Sunderland from Portsmouth, and he really knows what the game is all about. But the player that is causing most discussion at the present time is Gary Owers. He has been the subject of discussions so far as the transfer market is concerned in the £1 million region, and it's still questionable as to whether or not Sunderland will retain his services, or whether, like Marco Gabbiadini, who is now down in London, he'll depart from the North East as well. Perhaps the best known name locally is Paul Bracewell, who started his career again down the road at Stoke City. He's a Shropshire lad, and frankly there isn't a more dedicated professional in the game. Paul has been an unlucky player throughout his career, having a very severe ankle injury, but he's now recovered from that, and whilst he's approaching the end of quite an illustrious playing career, nevertheless he has a great deal still to contribute to the game. Peter Davenport, another big name, and of course Peter Beagrie, both appear this afternoon in the Sunderland side. Robin van der Laan has got his parents over watching him this afternoon, and he will obviously want to do well. On the substitutes bench we have John Jeffers, who's been assured by the specialist that there's nothing seriously wrong following his double hernia operation, and really he's just got to go through the pain barrier until the repairs to his groin have totally settled down. Not a very good situation for the young man from Merseyside to contemplate, but he's invariably got a smile on his face. He's a delightful personality, and I'm sure that he'll come through the next few weeks retaining that smile and once more contributing in no mean style to the fortunes of Port Vale. The other substitute, Nico Yelling. So with Jason Beckford playing wide up front and with a licence to operate right across the front line, Vale can add variety to their play this afternoon. And Sunderland, who have lost their last 3 games, are desperately in need of points. The crowd once again a little bit disappointing here, but the new stand at the Bycars end, the British Coal open cast stand, is almost completed, and when that's open, hopefully the crowds will improve. Well, the teams are lined up. Vic Callow is the referee this afternoon. He has the reputation of being a controversial official, and he blows the whistle to kick off as Simon Mills plays a wide ball across the far side, but it's Sunderland in possession. Good ball through the centre. Sunderland a nice layoff, playing confident football, and Simon Mills now to Porter. Porter a very clever turn, and he releases Brian Mills in a chase for the ball. Norman at the back signifying to his defender Anton Rogan that the route back to goal was closed, and Vale get the first corner of the game following a good turn by young Brian Mills. Plenty of Sunderland supporters, as is invariably the case when they're away from home, and the vocal support for the northeastern team is quite considerable. But it's Simon Mills with the corner. It's a long one, and a very good header in there, and a good shot, and Vale still on the attack. Well, a lively start by Port Vale, and there you saw Martin Foyle demonstrating just how dangerous he can be, almost getting on the end of a goal attempt. And again, Peter Swan, a goal! A brilliant goal! And Peter Swan coming in round the blind side of the Sunderland defence, puts Port Vale in the lead after their second corner and after only 2 minutes play. Well, will that make manager John Rudge think about pushing Swan up front permanently? Of course, he's adept in both areas of the field. But there you see Bennett being robbed from behind, and a bad decision by referee Callow straight away. He'd allowed play to continue in spite of the fact that the linesman was flagging for offside. He had given Sunderland the advantage, and when Martin Foyle tackled back, he immediately blew, and that by any score is a bad decision. He tried to excuse himself by indicating that the tackle was a foul tackle, but I'm sure you could see quite clearly from the picture that in fact there was absolutely nothing wrong there. But it's Sunderland now trying to make ground. Beagrie playing it down the left side, and eventually the fullback Anton Rogan crosses that one well behind for a goal kick. So a magnificent start here by Port Vale, leading by 1-0, and Peter Swan, the player that caused the problems. Now Darren Hughes with his right foot hammers it down in the through the left channel, but it wasn't really a well-directed ball. Sunderland with the throw. Burst it down, and a tackle across there by Vale defender Peter Swan. whose timing really was a little indiscreet, to say the least. Sunderland then with the free kick, quickly taken. Nicely cleared, and a kick off the ball, and the referee certainly saw that, and Vale player Andy Porter on the receiving end of that, the trainer coming onto the pitch, and I think it's Peter Davenport whose name is going to go into the book. And that really did demonstrate then the objectionable side of the game, and it's a yellow card for the Sunderland player. In reality, it was Peter Beagrie, on loan from Everton. And he was booked with just 4 minutes gone. However, Andy Porter, who was on the receiving end of that's a tough little nut. And as you can see, he's trotting away down the park. Vale's free kick. And immediately it's Porter hustling away for the ball, not quite getting there, laid off, and here's Beagrie now, and Beagrie hammered. The ball certainly went out of play then, the linesman missed it. This is Bracewell playing the ball into the penalty area. Swan gets it away, beautifully brought down by Porter, but poorly laid off when he'd won the ball. Beagrie now with his left foot drops that one into the area, and it's over the top as the Sunderland striker came in the inside right spot. Good effort on that occasion by Sunderland. And that was Gary Owes showing why he's so highly rated. So Mark Grew. Darren Hughes with the ball running very unkindly for him. Bracewell playing it short, and Sunderland coming through the middle, attacking down the right flank. A good layoff, and the flag is up immediately for offside. Dean Glover straight away plays it down to Simon Mills, to Robin van der Laan. Van der Laan being hassled as he turns his man nicely, but in the haste of his layoff, it wasn't a clean clearance. Simon Mills going in, van der Laan coming away with the ball beautifully, and then the long breaking pass between the defenders, and goalkeeper Tony Norman had to react quickly to that one. Haspin with the throw. Simon Mills just overhitting that one, demonstrating what his intention was to Martin Foyle. But Vale with the tails well and truly up, and with a chance of doing something today. But a good interception by van der Laan, and Glover stroking that one through to Mark Grew. Foyle going in, just getting a touch but failing to gain control. Swan up and under, but not a good ball. Easily taken by the fullback Rogan. Simon Mills again reading the game well. A lovely ball forward, but Sunderland moving to the ball beautifully. Van der Laan going in, and now Jason Beckford getting into the game for the first time and doing precisely the right thing. Taking the sting out of the play temporarily, cooling things down, and giving Mark Grew the chance to drop kick the ball straight onto the head of Andy Porter, and Bennett just sweeping through there, dropping Martin Foyle. Free kick then to the Vale, and And Peter Swan up there again. What a dominant figure he is when he goes forward. Dean Glover, good ball. A degree of panic in the Sunderland defence, and can Simon Mills get to it? He gets a touch, but he can't use it. And Dean Glover coming in, thumps it down again. Brian Mills held as he went through, nudged at the vital moment, but the defence got away with it. And it's Bennett now, a very cultured player indeed, Bennett. He really can play this game in a most attractive style as he turns the ball through to Tony Norman. Off the head of Swan to Aspin. Aspin now being taunted, but he sticks to his task. And Andy Porter backing up nicely, gives the ball to Aspin, who sweeps it away to Foyle. Good header by Foyle, well turned by Mills. Brian Mills taking his man on. In goes the tackle. Vale get the throw. Aspin to Mills, to Aspin, to Porter, to Aspin. A lovely ball from Aspin into space. Good turn by Mills. Mills to Van der Laan, who leaned back at the vital moment and got the first shot on the new British Coal open cast sign. Well, a buzz of excitement continually swirling around the Vale Park as Vale hold this one-goal lead and continue to take the game to Sunderland. And now it's Martin Foyle on the left, hammers a good low ball into the box. It's partially cleared, and Sunderland coming deep in the form of Peter Davenport. A good layoff from him. Glover coming through, but Beagrie is onto the ball. Beagrie tucking that one into space behind the defence, and an appeal for the ball having gone over the line. The Sunderland player that's been off for treatment is now ready to come back onto the park, and there you see Kieran Brady, a very good ball player indeed, a youngster who's highly rated, waiting for the cross to come in from Beagrie. Well cleared by Swan. Back it comes into the area, but this Beckford's a nice little sway by Beckford as he turns, gets the ball down to Mills. A good layup from Mills, and excellent running down the far side by the Vale. Support coming away down the right as Porter tucks in, but it was Hughes failing to get a good crossover, and it's Sunderland coming back, but a good touch on the ball by Robin van der Laan. The route to goal cut off. Sunderland have got to come away down the right flank, and a poor ball forward. Simon Mills through to Porter. Porter, first time through the middle, and another bad decision by the official on the far side. Foyle, when the flag went up, was not off. So Sunderland's free kick. To Van der Laan. Van der Laan brought down as he beats Bracewell. Free kick to the Vale. Aspin. Poor ball by Aspin standards, but Porter goes in, wins it well. A good layoff from Porter. And And Simon Mills, unusual for him, wasting that one by overhitting it. So it's Sunderland's throw. And again, it's nicked away. Simon Mills making up for his earlier mistake. Has been a lovely ball, but the layoff from Porter through the middle of the defence was not well read, but that certainly was well read by Swan. And Foyle under difficulty, but Glover completely miskicking that one, and this could be dangerous now as Beagrie cuts away through the middle. A good layoff by Beagrie, but beautifully done at the back by Darren Hughes. Excellent understanding between him and Grew. Now it's Vale in possession. First time balls, and Brian Mills fighting a lone battle up front there. Did well, but you could hardly expect any player, let alone one of so little experience, to win against four markers. Bracewell turning that back to John Kay. Kay's ball to Bennett. Bennett to Ball, and the beefy legs of Ball thumping that down the park. Davenport with a good layoff. Peter Swan leaving that to Glover, and Glover doing his job well to release Porter. Porter to Mills. Well read by Bennett for Sunderland, and he tucks it away through to Tony Norman. So it's ebb and flow as the game moves from one end of the park to the other. Armstrong laying that off. Ball up the park to Beagrie. Beagrie's layoff to Rogan was a good one. Rogan's cross intercepted, and Porter failing to get to that. A late tackle by Simon Mills. The referee lets play continue. And it's Glover for the Vale. A lazy ball by Dean Glover. And the ball's spinning away from Vanderlaan. Back comes Sunderland. Nice jink inside. Sunderland reading the game well at the moment. A deflection, nodded away by Swan. And Porter completing the clearance. What a good defensive game Porter's having. Releasing Brian Mills. Brian Mills to Foyle. Foyle tries a shot. It took a deflection, but it was easy in the end for Tony Norman. But Mills and Foyle seem to be developing an excellent understanding. As Porter to Aspin, up and under from Aspin. The back header from Mills only goes to a Sunderland player, and it's Vale to start again from the back. Jason Beckford attempting to get that away, releases Hughes the fullback, hard and low, but he tackles back, corrects his error. Jason Beckford now, and Beckford gets away from his man as he gets the edge of the area, taunting the defence. A good one inside. The first time shot comes Vanderlaan. Oh, and what a screamer that was. And how he would have loved that one to have gone in. As of course would everyone else here at Vale Park, apart from the travelling fans from the northeast. Peter Swan using his head well, but that time it runs kindly for Sunderland. Nice back heel, and a very well-timed interception by Dean Glover. Simon Mills getting that one down the park, but back it comes, and well off target. One has to say at this stage what an excellent player Dean Glover has been this season for Port Vale. He really has been most dependable at the back. Some of his tackling has been superb, and he seems to be shedding the old and somewhat annoying habit of dallying on the ball in dangerous areas and making the odd mistake which has proved fatal in the past. But it's Sunderland now, moving beautifully. Beagrie feinting to go one way, then the other. Porter staying with him. Beagrie moves inside, Porter goes in. Down comes Beagrie, holds his leg. The referee lets play continue. And Swan gets his head to that one. Aspin to Martin Foyle, to Aspin. Up and under from Aspin. And Aspin coming through, at least Mills coming through on the attack from midfield. Robin van der Laan finding space. A good chip forward by him to the overlapping Darren Hughes. Hughes cutting inside. Releases it to Jason Beckford. First time from Beckford. And just a little bit too anxious as Beckford overhit that one. And Beagrie now receiving some attention from the Sunderland physio following that very determined tackle by Porter. And the referee speaking to Porter, who indulged in a little bit of rough justice then. So Vic Callow pointing out to Andy Porter that his indiscretion has been noticed. Beagrie, I think, certainly needing all of the attention he's getting at the moment. But the Vale side currently giving John Rudge the sort of problems that I'm sure he'll relish. The players that he's brought into the side were described by me in a recent interview with him as being somewhat dour, to which the Vale manager took some exception. Maybe it was not a good phrase to use, but what I meant was that he has got some highly gifted players on the bench that these allegedly less gifted players are keeping out. And as you can see from the tape so far in this game, those players are fitting in well and playing beautifully as a team together. And there you see Dean Glover, one of the flair players, hitting a beautiful ball which almost released Jason Beckford, but Vale get the throw. Simon Mills to Hughes, and another throw to Port Vale. Beckford this time. Good turn by Foyle. Foyle trapped down by the corner flag. And Sunderland just saving the corner. But back come Vale. An appeal for handball, but Van der Laan a little bit too late with his tackle. Sunderland coming away, and they've got men forward. This could be dangerous now. It was 4-on-3 a moment ago, but Van der Laan, using his speed, gets back, gets the tackle in, and gives Vale the opportunity to draw Sunderland forward before releasing the ball down the park for their attack to chase. Here you see Sunderland in the form of Kevin Ball, an expensive import from Portsmouth, of whom a great deal is expected. Tony Norman. Van der Laan doing beautifully to get to that one. And the ball runs away for a throw to Sunderland. just inside their own half. Vale 1, Sunderland 0. Vale's goal scorer, Peter Swan. Dean Glover, who of course spent some time up in the northeast with Middlesbrough, absolutely revelling in the game here this afternoon, and a free kick for handball against Van der Laan. Good ball forward to Beagrie. Beagrie trying a shot, but off target. Sunderland fans in the stand on the far side, although there aren't all that many of them, they're certainly making their presence felt. It's the sort of support a team loves, but at the moment it's the Vale who are on top. Van der Laan moving in nicely for that one. Good layoff to Swan. Swan to Glover. And Glover now to set things away from the back. A good ball for Foyle, and Foyle showing his worth as he gets away down the far side. The flag is up, and I think it's a free kick to the Vale. It is. Now Van der Laan stumbling on that one, but wins it back. Finally he's bundled over, and referee Callow needs to really keep a firm hold on this game. It could bubble over with Sunderland so desperate for points. Throw to Sunderland, quickly taken by Rogan. Hammered into the box. A good turn by Beagrie. Good cross, but Swan gets it away. Simon Mills slips, the ball comes to him. Back it comes into the area. A good header out by Swan. Jason Beckford turns well, makes space for himself. Releases a lovely ball out to Brian Mills. Brian Mills turning his man well, feints to cut inside, leaves it for Simon Mills. Simon Mills sweeps it long to the far side, where Beckford fails to make the best of that opportunity, and this now could be nasty. Sunderland getting men forward quickly, turning well, and the safe hands of Mark Grew keep Sunderland at bay. Foyle nudged and beaten. Robin van der Laan putting pressure onto the Sunderland midfield the whole time. Brian Mills shielding that superbly. A strong youngster, Brian, as there were very few options for Porter on that occasion. Tried to open up the Sunderland defence with a wide ball. It didn't quite work, but Vale get the throw. 100-mile-an-hour football out there this afternoon, and Vale currently on top. Simon Mills controlling that beautifully. A good lob forward. Bennett making hard work of what should have been a simple return ball to the goalkeeper. Jefferson, Yallink, the two Vale subs, keeping on the toes. As Swan gets his head to that, Porter comes in, but it's Sunderland in possession. Simon Mills putting the player under pressure, and finally Porter turning it over the line. Rogan with the throw for Sunderland. Good ball from Mills, and a beautiful delivery. Now then, the keeper fully extended, but having to come for that, and doing very well indeed, Tony Norman. Throw to the Vale. Jason Beckford had to take a fitness test just before the kick-off. Came through it, but appears to be suffering just a wee bit. Aspin. Simon Mills. Foyle. Now Swan. A nice delivery from Swan, but once again well read at the back by Gary Bennett. So Sunderland in possession. Tony Norman pinching a step or two in his area there, and then releasing a good long ball into the Vale box, but all to no avail because the flag is up for offside. Mr. Roberts, the linesman on this side of the field, our commentary position just inside the Hamel end of the ground, just over the touchline, the halfway line. Oh, a lovely flick, but well read at the back by Sunderland, and then wasted as ball just recklessly hammered that away into touch. I think he thought he was at Murrayfield instead of here at Vale Park. Surely a free kick to Port Vale, and an altercation there between the usually very calm Martin Foyle and the Sunderland defender John Kay. The referee calling the two players over, and a booking is taking place, which is rather unfortunate for Foyle because he appeared to be the totally innocent party. Are we going to see the card come up? No, the card has not been shown, I'm happy to say. So play to be resumed with a free kick. And almost inevitably, we have a change of ball. I don't think there's been a game this season where a change of ball has not been called for, and I think it really does need some attention, this business of pressure in the ball. Jason Beckford then with the free kick. Up go the heads. Nodded clear. Aspin gets it back and into the tackle again, but Porter coming back to cover as Aspin was dragged down the park. Porter still hacking away at his adversary. Aspin gets there, Porter lays it off, and Simon Mills completes the clearance. Again, Mills, Van der Laan, Mills. Simon Mills to Van der Laan turning well, and Sunderland grateful for the opportunity to quickly whip that through to goalkeeper Tony Norman. We move into the final 15 minutes of the first half. Vale holding on to their one-goal lead against a Sunderland side that have scored a lot of goals this season, but have also conceded quite a few. Currently Sunderland in 17th spot, Vale lying 10th and needing a win to get up with the leaders. Sunderland, of course, a little bit desperate as they are keen to get a point after three successive defeats. Oh, and this stupidity occurring yet again of the ball. This really is unforgivable. Surely it isn't beyond the capabilities of whoever is responsible for the balls to make sure that a decent gauge is attached to the pump. When fans pay the sort of money that they are asked to shell out to see a game of football these days, the least they can expect is to have a ball that's been properly pumped up before the kick-off. And as I see it, there isn't even a gauge on the pump that's been used. Hughes doing remarkably well there, and the ball back to Glover. Mark Grew with his favourite drop kick. Vanderlaan fighting off the challenge, getting Jason Beckford away down the far side. Beckford showing a little bit of the ball to defender John Kay, who was only too delighted to tap that over the line for a throw to Port Vale. Vale 1, Sunderland 0. Another goal now is what's needed, as Vanderlaan failed to get a touch to that one, but he's chasing back as Bracewell turns well. A good layoff from Bracewell, back to ball, and ball through to his own keeper. Long clearance by Hughes as the ball hangs in the wind. Sunderland get it back. Aspin is there. He turns well, fights off a challenge, but the ball runs kindly for Sunderland, and as it comes out now, Bracewell tries a shot and he hits the post. Well, that really was deserving of the goal, as Bracewell hammered that superbly with his right foot. Certainly brought a cheer from the Sunderland crowd, but Aspin, who really put everything he had into defending, is obviously the worse for wear at the moment, but he's such a lion-hearted character that he's carrying on. And now it's Simon Mills to Jason Beckford. Beckford, a beautiful ball through to Brian Mills, a good layoff. Beckford again, that time it didn't quite make it, and Hughes is well forward as Sunderland cut away down the right side. And offside once again as the Vale defence shrewdly moved forward to throw not one player but two players well and truly offside. Mark Grew with the ball, and when I said the game needed a goal, I'm afraid I tempted fate a little bit, because it was almost Sunderland that got that one. And Porter hammering into the tackle. This time it is cleared down the park, but only to the halfway line. Bracewell showing some classical footwork to release that one, and then the clearance from ball ruining all of his good work. Aspin thumping that with his left book away down the park, and the referee spotting an incident after the ball had been played by Gordon Armstrong on Aspin. And Aspin, a Geordie by birth, but a young man who learned the professional game with Leeds United, and now here a bargain by manager John Rudge, like so many others that he's achieved. And here's Aspin again, prodding that down to Porter. Porter draws his man, lays it off into the centre of the park, but it's hammered away up to Beagrie. Beagrie and Swan, and it was Swan that tucked that one away. From the throw-in, Simon Mills gets into the tackle, and Porter so tight and compact, denying fullback Rogan any space at all. Simon Mills, Aspin, Brian Mills, about headed, and a good layoff from Armstrong. Now can Sunderland pull something out of the bag in this late stage of the first half? Apparently not, as Martin Foyle releases Robin van der Laan. Van der Laan is tackled out of possession, but Vale, coming back, managed to push the ball through to Mark Grew, in spite of the fact that they were all under a degree of pressure. Mark Grew from the edge of his area, drop kicks it long and hard. Van der Laan beaten to that one. But again, no problem, as Aspin turns it again to Mark Grew. And Mark Grew, who really has not had a great deal to do this afternoon other than receive balls from his colleagues. But that was a bad clearance. Now then, can Sunderland capitalise on this as Bracewell plays it through the centre? A good return ball. Aspin read it well, and he hacks it away out of danger for a throw-in to Sunderland. It'll be the long throw by Anton Rogan. And Aspin gets a boot to the ball and concedes a corner. Well, it was from a corner that Vale got their goal. Will Sunderland emulate the home team? Beagrie, who can place an excellent ball into the box. Up go the heads, well cleared. Can it come back from Bracewell? No, he places out to Beagrie. Beagrie taunting Mills. Comes round Porter, crosses the ball in, and you could hear Mark Grew shouting from way up here on the roof of the stand, leave it, leave it, leave it. And that's just what the defenders did. Full ball down the park. Sunderland moving forward well again. A good interception. And now away comes Van der Laan. A lovely ball to release Porter. Porter looking up. Down to Brian Mills. Brian Mills goes over as the tackle comes in. It was clean by Ball. Ball, a good ball forward. Porter with a difficult ball, turns his man, and as he endeavours to set Brian Mills away, the flag is up for offside against Vale's youngster. Sunderland with the free kick. Ball hits it with his right foot. Glover hammers it away, but it'll come back. Bracewell chipping it in, Glover hammering it away once again, and this time he finds touch almost on the halfway line. Glover again. Beckford inside to Simon Mills. Simon Mills turning, changing the direction of the attack. Van der Laan takes over, beats two men, doesn't get past a third, but the long clearance only goes straight through to Mark Grew. And as half-time approaches, I'm sure that possible changes are going through manager John Rudge's mind, although the 11 players that have been out there have done remarkably well. But Sunderland showing a degree of desperation as Glover now chips this down to Simon Mills. Mills didn't quite rest that down correctly, and this could be dangerous. Mills sticks out a foot, and two players come down as Porter makes a hash of his tackle on the edge of the penalty area. Porter and Beagrie, and there's no love lost in the encounter between those two this afternoon. So from a very dangerous position, Sunderland have a free kick right on half-time. Who is going to take it? It looks as though Gary Owers will take it. Beagrie is there. He runs over the ball, and it's there. It's in the net, but the referee has blown. The linesmen have flagged, and although the celebrations are continuing, the goal will not stand. The linesmen have flagged, and Andy Porter is down, needing some attention. Well, referee Vic Callow, who was not considered to be any sort of a friend to Port Vale, has suddenly changed from being the villain of the piece to being, in the eyes of the Vale fans, the best referee on the league list. So Andy Porter receiving some attention. Half-time is overdue. There have been very few stoppages. Porter is back on his feet, and the travelling fans from Sunderland are by no means pleased with that decision by both referee and linesman. So Mark Grew, Jason Beckford. And the ball is into touch. Throw to the Vale, who are going to be in no great hurry. Half-time looming as the throw is taken. Beckford beaten to the ball. Simon Mills tackling back, but away comes Sunderland, a good cross. And it's Aspin who turns well, strokes the ball to Porter. Porter around one man, through to Simon Mills, Mills to Aspin, Aspin hammering it clear, and a throw to Port Vale. Paul Bracewell addressing a few uncomplimentary comments to the linesman as the throw is taken, and as the ball is delivered down the line by Porter, the flag is up for offside against Brian Mills. Once again, Kevin Ball shapes to take the kick for Sunderland, and we are well into extra time. Good clearing header, stroked away, but only as far as Ball slamming it back, flicks away through for Sunderland. Martin Foyle back, showing his defensive qualities, gets that away, nodded down again. Robin van der Laan doesn't get a touch. It's still Sunderland forcing the ball back towards the Vale goal. A good layoff over on the far side, and a rather lucky ricochet, but well blocked over there by Dean Glover. Throw to Sunderland, and we've had nearly 5 minutes of extra time as Sunderland again hammer the ball into the Vale box, nodded away yet again. Back it comes, and a nice turn again. It's cleared, back it comes again, and this time Grew totally misses the ball, and the referee signals a corner to Sunderland, and we have had 4.5 minutes of extra time in this first half. And in spite of the changes of the ball and the stoppages, I'm convinced that that's far too much. Beagrie turns this back, and the ball hammered towards goal, blocked again by Aspin. And surely, yes, at long last, the referee blows for the end of the first 45 minutes. The score, Port Vale 1, Sunderland 0. The Vale goal scorer, Peter Swan, after just 2 minutes of the half, and really loads of incident, mainly held by Port Vale. But towards the end of the first half, Sunderland showing something of the desperation by throwing everything at the Vale defence, which stood its ground, but one must say that in at least one case, rather luckily. So the score at half-time, Vale... Well, there don't appear to have been any substitutions made by either manager at half-time, so both camps must be reasonably satisfied with the performance of the 11 out on the park. There appears to be no general agreement as to why the referee disallowed the Sunderland goal just before half-time, and so we'll have to wait until the end of the game for interviews to discover what it was all about. But it's Sunderland struggling to get the ball into the Vale 6-yard box, and really endeavouring obviously to take over where they left off at half-time, because Sunderland certainly had got on top for the final 10 minutes or so before the break. And I'll say that the flag is up for offside. Both Jason Beckford and Martin Foyle for the Vale had moved into offside positions. So Sunderland, of course, in red, Vale in their usual black and white, and Vale leading by a goal after 2 minutes from Peter Swan. And here again, Dean Glover, who's looked so stable at the back, just turns the ball through to Mark Grew. And Brian Mills drawing his man, doing well. Andy Porter being told to play the ball inside as Simon Mills cut round behind the fullback, but it didn't work. And now it's Sunderland with Beagrie trying to get the ball through, and Jason Beckford doing well at the back for the Vale. And Martin Foyle, very deft header indeed, picked up by Gary Bennett, puts it through the centre for this man Kevin Ball, and the flag again up over on the far side. If Vale can keep this lead, these 3 points will have been hard earned and well deserved. Simon Mills, a lovely ball through, and Jason Beckford just losing his feet at the vital moment. Sunderland get it away down the park, but the flag is up, the ball curled away out of play, even though when it landed it appeared to be in play. Hughes to Brian Mills, who's beaten Beckford, Paul Bracewell. His ball wasn't a good one, and it's Vale with Mills unable to get there. Van der Laan, a good ball forward, not a good layoff, and that put Andy Porter under a degree of pressure. But yet again, the tenacious youngster was in, getting a touch to the ball, and an element of frustration coming into play down Sunderland's left flank, as Simon Mills gets the tackle in this time, but the ball runs kindly and Sunderland gain the corner. The Vale subs warming up, but just who may come on is hard to guess. Good clearance, but back it's going to come, and this time sliced over the top for a goal kick. Some excellent shots this afternoon of the way the new stand is almost nearing completion, and that really will be ready for use just when it's needed as we move towards November. The ball out of play for a throw to Port Vale. Darren Hughes, long, Bennett thumping that away. Beckford, a little bit telegraphed, but Van der Laan is there probing the ball through the middle of the Sunderland defence, but well read at the back by Sunderland. Kick from Norman. Peter Swan gets his head to it. Prodded forward again. And Martin Foyle certainly felt that as he cut in. And Kevin Ball, the Sunderland defender, lecturing his colleagues. As Dean Glover moves up. And no doubt he'll plant this ball through to Darren Hughes. Jason Beckford really not showing the heart this afternoon that really is needed. His concentration was sadly lacking there, and it may well be that the skills of John Jeffers could make some difference down Vale's left flank. Good clearance from Grew, well headed by Foyle. Oh, good ball from Simon Mills. This could be dangerous, and it's in the net, and it's Martin Foyle that makes it 2-0 to Port Vale. That should put Vale comfortably in the lead now. I make that 48 minutes. Martin Foyle well and truly justifying his transfer fee from Oxford just before the start of this season. Now Sunderland coming back and wasting that opportunity as Porter took up a good position over on the far side. Martin Foyle takes it well, holds his man off, feeds Simon Mills. Good ball inside to Van der Laan. Van der Laan caught in possession, and it's Sunderland now coming at the Vale. Glover gets a touch to the ball, just sufficient to put Sunderland off a wee bit, but they do get the corner. But the flag was up for offside, so no, they don't get the corner. As Mark Grew comes out shouting to his defenders, expecting a little more from them than they gave on that occasion. So the Vale 2-0 in the lead, almost repeating in the second half what they did in the first. Nice layoff from Beckford and a good return. Beckford trying to cut inside his man but failing to do so, and in turn fullback John Kay unable to keep the ball in play, taking his frustrations out somewhat on the linesman. Good long throw, asking a lot of Robin van der Laan, but Simon Mills gets through. Good ball from Mills, it's foil again, and a good save by the keeper, but the danger could still be there. Sunderland getting men back quickly, playing it out of defence cleverly, and stubbing that danger out as van der Laan doesn't get to touch the ball, but Mills does it for him. A nice chip through. Now can Brian Mills get through? It took two defenders to stop him, but back comes Sunderland. An overhit ball and an easy one in the end for Mark Grew. Vale 2, Sunderland 0, and now the Vale fans are chanting away. They're in the ascendancy as Sunderland quieten down and just hope that the 11 men in red out there this afternoon can pull something out of the bag that so far they've failed to achieve. Dean Lover. Van der Laan. Oh, and what a goal from Van der Laan. What a superb goal. No one more delighted than him to score with his parents here from Holland. And that makes it 3-0 to the Vale. And I make that 53 minutes. What a lovely goal from the Dutchman. He's been threatening to do that for a week or two. And a corner conceded. Let's hope that Vale don't get too generous following this 3-0 lead. Beagrie taking the corner from the right. And what's the referee given? He looks to his linesman and decides it's a goal kick. Port Vale 3, Sunderland 0. Many years ago, I remember Vale beating Sunderland in a cup tie replay here at Vale Park when Sunderland were in the first division, Vale were in the third. And Sunderland had a side in those days packed with internationals. The manager was Norman Lowe. The crowd, I think, on the night was in excess of 30,000. But a win this afternoon will give almost as much pleasure as the fans got on that previous occasion. Simon Mills to Van der Laan. Van der Laan brought down as he went away from his man. A late trip by Peter Davenport. Vale's free kick. Darren Hughes, Jason Beckford. And a dive there by Beckford. And no one wishes to see that, but a lovely ball played through for Peter Davenport, a good ball from him, and The ball hits the post and it's an easy one for Sunderland. As that one is just tapped over the line, Sunderland's first goal. And I said earlier, I hope the Vale don't get too generous. They do occasionally allow their concentration to wander. And Brady, I think, was the scorer of that one. An easy goal that should never have been given away. And I know that John Rudge and Mick Pedgick will have a lot to say about that one. It resulted from a needless dive by Jason Beckford deep in the opposition's half. Now Darren Hughes, a long ball forward. And Martin Foyle just keeping that in play. Throw to Sunderland. Dean Glover. And Norman just tapping that down for the fullback, John Kay, to play forward. And Sunderland don't give many balls away. Good layoff. Now Sunderland having got one, looking for a couple more. And the Vale, who should be full of confidence now, just possibly rocking a wee bit, but that layoff gave Sunderland the chance of a shot on goal in the form of Peter Davenport. And really, Davenport looking anything but the £1 million player that left Notts Forest a few years ago. Van der Laan, Porter, Simon Mills, and an incident spotted by the referee after the ball had been played. Martin Foyle having some trouble with his boot. In fact, looking as though he may need a fresh one. And this could be dangerous as Hughes again allowed the ball to run away when in fact the clearance should have been a first-time delivery down the park. Well, Martin Foyle's got his boots back on, which I hope is good news for the Vale. Van der Laan hammered by centre forward Gordon Armstrong, who spoke out of turn, and that is a very silly thing indeed to do to a referee like Vic Callow. Is he going to be booked for dissent? I think perhaps he was booked, but we didn't see the yellow card. So it's Glover for the Vale. Aspin, nice ball through to Mills, Simon Mills. Again, a poor ball from him, but he's back defending, winning the day. And once more, referee Vic Callow saw something that no one else spotted as Sunderland get away down the far side. Swan pumping it up the park. That's Sunderland now passing beautifully, finding each other superbly. Gary Hours on the ball, trying to just put it over goalkeeper Mark Grew. He knew precisely what he wanted to do, but couldn't quite achieve it. In any event, he counted without the astute agility of Mark Grew. Now a chance here for the Vale. Robin van der Laan in a position to drop this one into space. Ryan Mills holding his man off very well indeed, but eventually the greater experience wins the day, as Aspin showed there, and the flag up again for offside against Foyle, and Martin Foyle feeling very harshly dealt with. Martin Foyle sticking to his guns, insisting that the free kick should be taken from a point further back, but his insistence avails him nothing at all. So again, a long clearance down the park. Brian Mills fighting a lone furrow. Gary Hours quickly beaten. Back comes the ball, well cut out by Hughes to van der Laan. A lovely ball from van der Laan, but again the experience of Gary Bennett paid dividends, and Sunderland are able to get the ball through to their own keeper. 3-1 to Port Vale, and Vale really requiring another goal. Mills hooking this on. Martin Foyle on the chase, forcing the back pass. And Tony Norman has most certainly earned his pay this afternoon. And some good play, and Simon Mills checked as he went through, obstruction but not given, as Sunderland hammer it forward again. Peter Swan, a good header. Nice play by the Vale, a lovely move by van der Laan. Playing the ball out to Porter. Porter going away down the right, into Mills. Mills through to van der Laan, back to Mills. Mills to Jason Beckford. Beckford, oh, delivering that one far too early. And Bracewell in trouble, but Ryan Mills just unable to get there. And the flag up once again for offside. So Sunderland making a substitution. Peter Davenport is coming off and David Rush is going on. A famous name but no relation to the famous Ian Rush. And Vale now going for the boards. They are anticipating a substitution. My guess will be that Beckford could be the player to come off. Well, Peter Davenport's contribution on behalf of Sunderland this afternoon has been virtually negligible. And here you get Glover and Darren Hughes tidying up well between them. Simon Mills. And a lovely ball forward for Brian Mills. And Jason Beckford really not showing a lot of heart for the game this afternoon. He does appear to be a happier player on the right flank rather than the left. So Sunderland from the goal kick get the ball back to Tony Norman. Good clearing header from Peter Swan. An easy ball for Rogan to hammer down the park. Good flick on, and this could be nasty, but Dean Glover appeared to have timed his tackle well and to have jockeyed the player over the line, but the corner says the linesman. And Vale needing to get the defence well organised as this cross comes over. Aspin gets ahead to it, punched away by Grew, partially cleared to the edge of the box, but back it comes from the far side into the area again, nodded away. A hammering shot and a deflection, it's there, and what a lucky goal as that took a deflection. It was Gary Owers that played the ball forward. I didn't see, in fact I don't think anyone could tell who the deflection came from. So the score now, Port Vale 3, Sunderland 2, and at long last John Jeffers is coming on. We have roughly 65 minutes gone, and the Vale have allowed this 3-goal lead to drift away from them. Grew then trying to bring Jeffers into the game immediately as the ball goes out of play for a throw to the home side, just inside the Sunderland half. Darren Hughes with the throw down the line. And that's the Sunderland substitute turning the ball for the first time. The long ball down the flank, and Darren Hughes gets it away from Gary Owers. Beagrie wide on the right. A first-time ball into the area. This could be dangerous, and it's there. Sunderland have equalised, and the Vale yet again have thrown away what seemed to be an invulnerable lead. Well, both sides now have again got it all to play for, and a lot of questions have got to be asked about Vale's defensive play this afternoon. Martin Foyle, Vale's major success, trying to get past two players. Hughes backing up, gets a good cross in, and a good header by Brian Mills, but wide of the near post. And the Sunderland fans are ecstatic. They've seen their team come back from the dead. Thundered forward by Robin van der Laan, who lost his boot in the process. Now Darren Hughes gives it away. Bracewell, who can make something from nothing, pushes this one away down the right flank for the substitute Rush. Rush forced to the corner flag, and the throw goes Sunderland's way. But we got a lot more tenacity in the tackle there from John Jeffers than we've had from Jason Beckford throughout the whole of the game. Hughes, a long ball forward. Now Martin Foyle putting the defence under pressure, comes in, he gets there, and a good save by Norman. He really did show his class on that occasion, but Foyle has done nothing wrong this afternoon at all. He's been an inspiration up front, And Van der Laan doing beautifully to get to that one. The long delivery, cut off. And there you see Armstrong, the striker, all the way back to turn that through to his own keeper. Norman now anxious to get the ball deep into the Vale half. Swan beaten in the air. Back to Grew. One has to say there's been a streak of luck in a couple of the Sunderland goals, but frankly Vale should have closed down a lot quicker and a lot more capably than they did do. Norman then with the long ball, Van der Laan to Jeffers. And the referee again spotting something that everyone else missed. Free kick to Sunderland. Wasted ball. Both sides needing 3 points this afternoon, one each, 1 point each, that is, won't do either of them a lot of good. Good flick on. Now Jeffers. And again now, is this going to let Sunderland through? As Oz chips a beautiful ball in, up go the heads, but fortunately no one in a red shirt could get on the end of that one. Goal kick to Port Vale. And suddenly the whole aspect of this game changed. The substitution of Peter Davenport by David Rush seemed to give Sunderland a new impetus. And Vale now hunting for another goal. Porter on the ball. Poor ball from him. Aspin closing his man down well, but back they come. And Sunderland beginning to look dangerous whenever they get the ball forward through to the strikers, who are pushing up in greater numbers now. Sunderland sensing that this game could be here for the taking, and what a sensation that would be. A lovely ball inside the fullback, and this again is dangerous, but once more it's that man Dean Glover who has been the outstanding success at the back for Vale this afternoon. Late tackle over there by Porter. Free kick to Sunderland. And they've got enough quality in their side not to waste these balls. Bennett is going up and he can be lethal in the air. Good clearing header from Martin Foyle. And it's John Jeffers on the ball, and he's got the skill to beat the defence. His delivery forward finds Brian Mills. Brian Mills wide on the far side. Aspin backing up, cuts inside, tries a shot, and that wasn't all that far away, as Neil Aspin really rattled that one over with his left foot. But my word, there will be an incredible inquest after this game in the Vale dressing room, having allowed a 3-goal lead to slip away. And there again, misunderstanding as Sunderland move down onto the Vale goal. Vale players tracking back, Beagrie does well, but a saving header again by Dean Glover. John Jeffers trying to get to the ball. Again, Glover gets it away, back it comes, and a nudge in the box, but the scissor kick achieved nothing. Van der Laan loses out as Sunderland come down the left flank. This could be dangerous, but Beagrie again gets it away up the park. Sunderland back into the box. Up go the heads, and again it's nudged away. And now Vale in with a chance to break. And their own players getting in each other's way as Van der Laan, oh, a lovely delivery through to Martin Foyle, but a good desperate tackle by Bennett saves the day for Sunderland. Beautiful ball down through the Vale defence, and a good interception by Simon Mills, who's shown all of his constructive skills in his midfield role this afternoon. But the game now finally poised as Van der Laan wins out, flicks it through to Mills. Simon Mills, a good layoff, and another good ball, but just flicked away and kept in play by Tony Norman. Good clearance, and the Vale now finding their feet a wee bit, but Sunderland giving nothing away at the back as John Kay turns it safely through to his own goalkeeper. Tony Norman wasting that as it swings into touch for a throw to Port Vale. Now, oh, Foyle brought down from behind. John Kay, the offender, free kick to Port Vale. Darren Hughes will leave this one to Dean Glover. As Glover seeks space. Vale with 4 players on the edge of the area. Driven in. Peter Swan gets ahead to it, but this could be dangerous. And a good flick through. Martin Foyle goes down in the penalty area, but I think that was more of a dive than a trip. And Sunderland playing their way out of trouble. It's Beagrie, the long ball into space. And if Vale don't watch the middle of the defence, this could be dangerous. Rush signalling for the ball, but Glover, who's limping after that clearance, and Vale can ill afford to be without his services, holding that instep, which has caused problems for the Vale defender earlier this season. Vale have Yalink available to come on, but they cannot afford to be without Dean Glover in the middle of this defence, which has shown some enormous cracks during periods of this game. I suppose if Glover has to come off, then Aspin can come into the middle of the defence. Simon Mills would go to fullback and Yalink would come into midfield. But the defence already seems totally stretched, and they cannot do without the calibre of a player like Dean Glover, on the evidence of what we've seen this afternoon. And here he is immediately chipping this ball forward. Brian Mills doing well, almost got around his man, but Bennett, lithe, clever and crafty, gets the ball away. Hughes beautifully intercepting, coming away, good control by the fullback as he tried to deliver that one through to Martin Foyle, and Foyle just failing to make good contact. But certainly everything's still to play for here at Vale Park. Simon Mills, good one to Martin Foyle, to Jeffers. Jeffers expecting the tackle to come in, stabbed the ball round his man, but it was well read by John Kay, the Sunderland fullback. Jeffers now taking on Kay, finds space and wins the throw. This time I think Darren Hughes will go for the long one into the box, but who's there? Robin van der Laan. No, the throw comes to Jeffers. A good ball from Jeffers, just sneaked away, stabbed back by Simon Mills, and Simon Mills blocked. Oh, and this could be dangerous, but once more a desperate and timely tackle at the back by Dean Glover saved the day for Vale as three hungry Sunderland forwards converged on that ball. Norman with the free kick. Swan gets that one away. Back it comes from Bracewell. Now Porter. Vital that he delivers a good ball forward. Chased by Foyle, but intercepted at the back. A bad bounce, and Porter was fully extended then, but he did well. Beagrie goes down under the threat of Porter. Van der Laan back to Glover. Glover, a lovely delivery to Jeffers. Jeffers inside to Van der Laan. Well read by Van der Laan as Hughes breaks down the left flank. Now can Hughes get a good ball in? Back to Jeffers. Jeffers through to Van der Laan. Van der Laan right-footed over to the far side. A good leap by Glover, but an unfair one, says the referee. So they score Port Vale 3, Sunderland 3. And Norman with the ball. Good delivery from the Sunderland keeper, but good defending at the back by the Vale. Well flicked on, just cut off before Mills was sneaking through. Nodded down, but this can be dangerous. This is Gary Hours now, the man who's caused the problems before. He cuts into the penalty area, turns it back. This is nasty, and it's right across the face of the goal. And why Vale failed to pick this man up seems beyond belief. Gary Hours, the player that with the major reputation in the Sunderland side since the substitution when Peter Davenport went off, has been dynamite down Sunderland's right flank, causing all sorts of problems to the Vale defence. And really, I think it's an occasion where a degree of man marking was called for. Bennett getting this one down the lines. This man Hours again. A long curling ball that could cause problems, but Aspin gets it away. Simon Mills pushes it away into space. Brian Mills gets round his man. It seemed to be handball there, but it wasn't given. Simon Mills again. But Sunderland, in the form of Bracewell, in control. He makes space for himself. A good layoff from the ex-Stoke player. Nice flick inside. Beagrie, another ex-Stoke man, coming away down the left side, and this time offside saves the day for the Vale. Mark Grew. Jeffers being mauled, gets away from his man. Oh, lovely move. Jeffers taunting Bennett, turns it back well for Van der Laan for Simon Mills, and Mills without the lethal shot of Van der Laan does, however, gain a corner for Port Vale. Well, is this going to be Vale's last throw of the dice? Vale 3, Sunderland 3. Simon Mills, Van der Laan, a nice layoff by him. Simon Mills again, good ball into the box, but it's Sunderland head that gets it away. Mills once more, coming in strongly, and a shot and a deflection, but Norman held on to it. And is that Vale's last chance? As Tony Norman with the ball waits for his players to move down the park. Glover again, Brian Mills, a nice layoff. Jeffers first time through the middle, but not a good ball by his standards. And Sunderland once again bring their keeper into play. So Sunderland, with 3 defeats behind them, look as though they may well have got a draw from their visit to the Potteries. Gary Hours taunting Darren Hughes, and Hughes allowing the ball to run away for a goal kick. Van der Laan through to Brian Mills. Van der Laan again, a lovely delivery through the middle. Can the Vale get there? Down goes Foyle. And it's this man, Gary Hours again. A lovely ball from him. And it's Sunderland making tracks. Beagrie wide on the right. Cutting inside. Gets in across. And the Vale players stand and let Sunderland collect the ball on the edge of their own area. No one went for it. It's Sunderland coming back at the Vale, but it's Aspin that gets in the tackle. But it's a corner to Sunderland. Beagrie with the cross. No, in it comes again. A good clearing header. And the corner saved by Aspin. Sunderland with the throw. Good tackle, and a good flick over on the far side, an appeal from John Jeffers. Free kick to Port Vale. Six goals here this afternoon, and a 7th needed. A wasted free kick. As Sunderland again build from midfield. A lovely long ball down the far side, but not controlled. Throw to the Vale. Aspin. Martin Foyle fighting for possession. Van der Laan. And a long clearance back to goalkeeper Norman. Gary Bennett looking happy with a draw now of Sunderland as Norman thunders this one down the park. Swan gets it away. Flicked on by Porter. Chased by Brian Mills. And there is the final whistle. Well, I repeat, a lot of questions are going to be asked as Vale again throw away a 3-goal lead against a side that looked to be there for the taking. Dennis Smith comes off the park shaking his head. A goal disallowed by referee Callow, and no one yet knows the reason why. Vale, though, did get the ball into the net 3 times. There have been some good performances. My man of the match for the Vale this afternoon at Dean Glover, but whether the sponsors will agree with me or not is remains to be seen. The final score then, Port Vale 3, Sunderland 3, Vale scorers Swan, Foyle and Van der Laan, with a goal that will be remembered for a long time by Vale fans, but question marks once more over this result. Vale 3, Sunderland 3. Well, John, the first question has got to be, what went wrong? 3 goals up and you give it away.
That's right, it's criminal. I mean, 3-0 up, and we just didn't know how to win a match. Stopped working, stopped doing the things which we'd done very well, because a lot of aspects of our play were very good today. And then you get 3-0 up, and you let them just get off the floor, get on the knees, and lo and behold, you're in trouble. And after we played so well in that first 35 minutes, they had a little bit of spell just before half-time, but then we came back in the second half, the first 10 minutes, got the other 2 goals, 3-0 up, with some good play, and you would have thought then, well, that's it, the points are there for the taking. Players stopped doing what they were doing in that first period of the match, allowed them to come into it, and to death we were hanging on for a point. And that was criminal, really, because we've played that well, and it would have been a great boost for us for 3 points.
But with the left side of your defence being so exposed, do you now feel that perhaps you should have made the substitution and brought Jeffers on, who after all is a better defender than Beckford, earlier than you did?
Well, when you're winning 3-0, I mean, the thing is you shouldn't have even had any problems at all. I mean, the thing is, it's all round as a team performance. I mean, we just stopped playing and allowed them back into the game.
I suspect that you would have thought that the brilliant goal that Robin van der Laan hit would have lifted the side to even greater things. And just how can you explain the loss of application thereafter?
Well, it's all about being mentally tight, being mentally tough, and keep working and doing the things which you've done. I mean, stop doing that. And it's no good just playing for an hour. You've got to play for an hour and a half.
Perhaps the one bonus then in defence, John, was the brilliant form which Dean Glover has sustained and maintained, I thought, throughout the whole of the 90 minutes.
Well, he's done very well, I mean, but we defended poorly for the 3 goals. So, I mean, it's put a bit of a damper on what could have been a very good performance. After sort of going into the lead 3-0, I mean, we'd shown that we were, for the first 35 minutes, we were much better than them.
And what are you planning to do now then? Will they be in for extra training?
Extra training? When you're 3-0 up it and you lose 3 goals like that, it isn't only extra training, it's a little bit of mental preparation. When they're out on the field of play, if they can't hold on to a 3-0 lead, I mean, they want shooting.
Well, there we are, everyone. John Rudge, who has done so well over the 10 years that he's been here at Vale Park, has now got to take over the role of club psychiatrist.